Let's take a look at the last 2 years of Ashes of Creation development and what we might expect in the coming months. Make sure to watch to the end.
Hey, what up, boys?
What is up?
So, roughly this week marks 2 years since Alpha 1 ended in 2021.
2 years already. 2 years. I mean, I get that it's an MMO, a massively multiplayer online RPG. Yes, I get it. It takes a lot of development time. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But come on, give us something. Get it in our hands. We can build that hype train for you. You know, we'll take all the work away from you for building that hype train. We do it all for you. You don't even have to. The game will sell itself, but we have to have it in our hands. We got to see it. We got to experience it. And it's been a while. Come on. Exactly.
In today's video, we're going to reflect on the development, the changes, but most importantly, the progress they've made throughout the last 24 months of development. While skipping a few of the less interesting ones, of course, of which there are just a handful, but...
I already took my nap today. I don't need any snoozes right now, Narc. Come on.
Before we get into that, our beautiful patrons and coped out the wazoo Twitch subs and I would love for you to grab yourself a Gola, because the last 2 years have been fantastic.
Yeah.
There's been tears, there's been outrage, but there's also been some absolute bangers that have made the nerves in my PP tingle as the next big MMORPG inches closer towards the highly anticipated Alpha 2.
This guy, man, Narc is just... he's on another level, man. This guy should have like 10 million subs, I swear. He's really good.
Now, with all that bollocks out of the way, let's begin, shall we?
It really takes a talent to give you like all of the like concisely put info and make it entertaining. Like he's definitely good. The Dented One.
So the closing of Alpha 1 left us all on a high. High on copium, that is. Alpha 1 is the single most reason why I still have faith in the game whenever we have a less than ideal showcase. Proof is in the physical things that we've tested ourselves rather than the vaporware that they show us during the monthly streams.
Right.
Overall, the testing period was pretty damn good considering it was just simply a back-end test. Its purpose was to allow the team to gain experience servicing a live game, implementing patches and handling bugs, and for the most part, they nailed it well. Regardless of the bugs and patches though, Alpha 1 was the best MMO experience I've had for the last 10 years or so due to the team's understanding of crisp character control, sense of adventure, and of course, the interesting node system that was still in its infant stage, only showing the Dunir, Empyrean, and Kalar nodes up to level 3.
That's actually really big praise. The biggest and like best like kind of MMO experience that he's had for the last 10 years? I mean, that's really high praise.
Interestingly, we've got an upcoming showcase with the progress on this particular aspect this month, so that's pretty exciting. However, following the closing of the Alpha 1, we were plunged into one of Ashes of Creation's darkest times, the Mount Showcases.
Oh yeah.
If anyone following today sees comments, discussion, and memes about how this Kickstarter project continues to shill their mounts and cosmetics, it's because of this period of development here. From August to November 2021, all we got were 20-minute showcases highlighting the mounts and cosmetics that they've been making progress on.
I purposefully didn't react to these kind of periods of time because it was kind of boring. I mean, it's just mounts. What are we, like, there's not really a lot of meat and potatoes going on here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is more like the garnish, the extra stuff on top. So yeah, I really didn't want to react to this. And I get why he's, you know, just brushing over this and saying it wasn't that great of a time period.
Not ideal, but our faith was rewarded in December with the reveal of, yes, you guessed it, with a few more mounts, but also the reveal of Ashes of Creation moving to Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah.
Now, leading into 2022, the January, February, March, and April showcases were still pretty mediocre, revealing the final Alpha 2 models for the Dunir Dwarves, the Kalar humans, and the Vek Orcs, but not really showing any kind of gameplay or progress, aside from their revamped character creator using Unreal Engine 5's tech, and thus the first and only spark of hope for this game since the Alpha 1 ended. This would all change in May though, as
it was a big announcement, though. I mean, come on. Any game that decides to make that switch to Unreal Engine 5, that's huge. I mean, that's huge. It just opens up so much graphical fidelity and new lighting options and things like that. Like, it's just, the realism gets bumped up at a whole nother level if they make that choice. And since they did, that was a huge moment.
As the Weather and Dynamic Season Showcase began the torrent of hype that almost everyone today considers to be the best showcase so far, and although it is still up there for me, a couple of the showcases here in 2023 have been able to top even this one.
Okay.
Following the hype of the seasons, Intrepid rode the wave by showing us our first look at the direction that they've settled on for the general melee and ranged attacks for this highly anticipated MMORPG.
I was pretty pleased when I saw this video. This video got me pretty hyped. Like, I like the aesthetic, the way that these kind of actions and abilities play out, the coloring and effect, like the way that it all feels, the gravity of it. It just, I'm pretty excited. I was pretty excited just by this video alone.
Hybrid has been the type of combat Intrepid have been working towards for many, many years now, and with these two showcases from the early Fighter and Ranger, in my opinion, they've nailed it perfectly. It has excellent animations, a great sense of impact behind the melee attacks, whilst retaining the tab targeting features that an MMORPG needs to succeed with, very similar to Guild Wars 2. In fact, it even features the same action and tabbed camera switching modes that were also present in Alpha 1.
Also, the Ranger abilities, that was pretty hype as well. That air shot, flipping in the air, shooting 3 arrows, and they like ensnare in a line, that's so cool.
For action combat in this MMO, remember, Black Desert Online doesn't need to create content with group synergy in mind, and therefore their high-paced action style is very much catered towards a single-player experience. You are a single player surrounded by a bunch of other people also playing a single-player experience. This is not the MMORPG Ashes of Creation is trying to create. And you'll understand why as we show off some more of the progress. Speaking of deserts, in between these combat updates, they also showed us a preview of another biome being featured at the launch of Alpha 2.
Like the Sahara, basically like an African biome.
Sand Squall Desert and the Badlands, but more importantly, announced that the size of Ashes of Creation's world map has increased to 1.2 thousand kilometers square.
Yes, that's right. It's basically like 2.5 times larger or something like that, or was it 4 times larger? I can't remember, but either way, it was a big jump in size, like massive jump in size. And that was definitely a hype moment for me as well.
Marking Ashes of Creation to be the largest, completely traversable, open-world map in the MMORPG genre to date. In addition, we also got the finished models of the Pyre and Empyrean Elves ready for Alpha 2 during these live streams. Interestingly, we also got a sneak peek at the concept art for the Tulnar Faces, Ashes of Creation's bestial race that still hasn't had an update to its full in-game model. The following livestream in October gave us
It's coming, guys. It's coming. Don't worry. It's coming. Maybe with Alpha 2. Maybe with Alpha 2. It's coming. Don't worry. No, I actually hope it's coming.
Progress the team had made towards their gathering systems, inspired by New World's very well-designed, fully gatherable world, and taking it one step further by designing the trees and the rocks to react dynamically to the environment instead of just a...
Yeah, this was pretty cool too. I mean, anytime you can make the world feel like just way more immersive than previous experiences that you've had, that's a universal W. Like that is an easy W right there. Like they're really taking it to the next level with the kind of gathering and stuff, and I love to see that.
static mesh. Again, another ambitious step that I'm looking forward to seeing the fruits of their results. To end this highly praised year of development, in November and December, Intrepid decided to show us a culmination of everything we've seen so far in a new Graveyard Zone, showing us some of their group combat and the day and night cycle in real time. Overall, 2022 was a very good year of development that only continued to improve throughout 2023, starting with their tank showcase in January. When focusing on the tank, they mainly showed off their abilities, the active block mechanics, and just the general feel of the combat in a group setting. However, things would slow down slightly for February's showcase as they mainly focused on their detailed UI elements and the direction that they're taking with.
To be fair, the UI looks great. I mean, you know, maybe that was a slower month in terms of like building hype, but in terms of actual development, I mean, this is great. This is great to see. It looks clean. It looks good. I was happy with it.
That, personally, I think the direction that they're going with these UI mockups perfectly match the game's immersive goals.
Yeah.
They're not soulless by any means, but they're also stylized in a way that represents the traditional fantasy genre. It's also a good indicator of how much is complete for systems that we've yet to see. Following this, we were graced with an excellent showcase in March, giving us a highly detailed look at the dynamic questing systems that change the world in real time due to the player-driven node system.
See, that kind of stuff really just blows my mind. Changing in real time because of the node system. Like, I love that. I love the node system. I love how that's going to, or the intention of how that's going to work. It sounds so cool. And this showcase, it was definitely cool. There is so many reasons to be excited about this game. And if everything is pulled off the way that I hope it is, this really could be one of the biggest MMOs ever. Like, I really think that.
In addition, we also got a look at the
Maybe I'm huffing
models
copium.
of the Valoon humans ready for the Alpha 2 launch. Now, the next 4 showcases in April, May, June, and July were covered extensively in a recent video by Lazy Peon just a couple of days ago, so I'm going to assume that you all watched that one. If not though, we were shown the Alpha 2 Mage archetype, the Alpha 2 Cleric archetype,
Some of the mage abilities were underwhelming. I will throw that out there. I made a video on this already. But yeah, some of the mage abilities, a little bit underwhelming in how they appear, like in terms of their actual, like effect look. But, I'm sure they feel good to use. Well, I guess I don't know that for sure. That's an assumption, but, yeah, they just, a little bit underwhelming in how they appeared. And hopefully that's just, like, hopefully they're still in development and they will change and grow, and be made better. But yeah, just as of this showcase, a little bit underwhelming mage abilities.
World Boss, and also their progress on the Freehold systems. 4 extremely good live streams that I recommend you go watch, as well as a look at the finished models of the Nikua for the Alpha 2, which brings us to the present.
Basically like Islander Bros? I love that. That's awesome.
2 straight years since they closed Alpha 1. To conclude today's video, I want to touch upon 2 main points: my current opinion on the game's progress, and what's to come in the near future. Firstly, my opinion. Obviously, what Intrepid are showing is great. Ain't nobody denying the progress, and the showcase themselves have greatly improved both in a quality standpoint and the content shown.
Yeah, I'm definitely, like, they're doing a great job, and it's really coming along, especially, I mean, like he's talking, in the last 2 years, it's seen some major growth and major steps. So I don't know how close you could say it is to actual, like, release, or more like a beta level, because we're not even at Alpha 2 yet. We had Alpha 1. It's been 2 years and no Alpha 2 yet. So it's hard to say how close this really is to a release date, but yeah, it's really good to see the leaps and bounds that they're making.
The only gripe with the game's progress and the way that they represent it is the language that they use during the streams. They use words like soon and not years away, and never allude to solid facts, likely due to the volatile nature of the game's development.
Yeah.
My advice that nobody fucking asked for is to just stop alluding to dates. Stop trying to convince people that things are happening soon when they're clearly not.
That's a great point. That's something that you learn in like what is it, like marketing or something like that. And also project management. Yes, project management is a big one as well. If you don't have a concrete date, or if it's so far out that you can't be certain, you don't give one. You just be upfront, like, hey, we don't have a date for this. Boom, that's it. Done. And then it's up in the air only in the sense that you know the fact that there is no date, but you're not guessing like, oh, it's coming soon, it's coming soon, it could be next month. Like, no. We never said that. We said we don't have a date. That's it. You know, like that would be much better.
Stopping the sales of the Alpha 2 packs very soon now, but we won't know the exact details until next month. I don't know if it's just because I'm personally invested or it's just my skeptical nature, but I find some of the language they use to string the audience along to be a bit disingenuous.
Yeah.
And isn't the point of Ashes of Creation to show that the game can stand by itself due to the passion and time that you're putting into it? Just look at Baldur's Gate 3, a game that was slated for being in a buggy early access state for 3 years. It's ended up being one of the best games ever made.
Right.
You don't need to lead us on. We support you and believe in you. Just be straight with us about timescale and the current state of things, or just don't talk about it at all.
Exactly.
I think that would be much more appreciated instead of
within this month. There's a small chance it might be next month, but it's likely going to be this month.
Within the next couple months, or I think it's the next 2 to 3 months.
In the near future, over the coming, I would say, few months.
As part of the next several months.
We are not years away from Alpha 2.
Now, I also promised you a glimpse into the...
That's fair. That's fair. When you see it all kind of compiled like that, yeah, maybe just don't tell us dates until you have them.
The future. So we'll conclude with this. At the end of this month, provided it's not pushed back another month, we have a showcase of Ashes of Creation's most anticipated system, the Node system.
Yes.
And following this, they're announcing the discontinuation of the Alpha 2 keys. In addition, last month they also teased that Stephen has another interview with someone that's yet to come to light. So I wonder who that's going to be. When Alpha 1 was drawing near, Stephen was doing interview after interview to get everyone hyped and ready. So, provided everything goes to plan, it is looking like they're on the final stretches to the Alpha 2 launch ready state. We only have one more race left to show its final model for, the Renkai Orcs, and a couple of other systems that we're still awaiting solid confirmation for, the crafting and the weapon skill trees. We also know that the Rogue and Bard are planned for Alpha 2's launch, leaving 2 more showcases for them, and if we're looking at the Cleric refresh, an update showcase for the Fighter and Ranger is also likely, giving us...
Dang, so there's actually quite a bit to come, and maybe relatively soon. But we don't know dates, right? So we'll see. But yeah, that's really exciting. There's a lot more to see.
6 solid streams after this month. Finally, the team teased a look at the starting zone for the humans many months ago, and if we use previous livestream teasers as a base, that likely means a preview of the starting experience should be one of the upcoming showcases, likely leading into the Alpha 2 hype.
That would be awesome. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'd love to see that.
But as usual, I am just one nerd, desperate for a good MMO, and my opinion means nothing without yours in the comments below.
Yeah, that was a good video. That was really good. A really good summarization of where Ashes of Creation was kind of 2 years ago, everything that it went to get up to here, and then things that we should kind of maybe be expecting here soon. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. Thank you, Narc. Another great video on Ashes of Creation. Well, what do you guys think? Is the beta or even the launch of Ashes of Creation right around the corner? Let me know in the comments. Leave a like, a subscribe, and I will see you next time.